The popular TV series The Chi is back with season number 6, tackling important storylines involving mental health. The drama follows characters from different walks of life on the south side of Chicago. Jacob Latimore plays Emmett, a business owner juggling fatherhood and romantic relationships. Luke James plays Victor, a city councilor with a complicated past. In the new season, Victor leads a men's circle at the community center, giving Emmett and other characters a chance to open up.
I want to apologize to you for not including you on the bigger conversations that's been happening around the house. I'm dealing with a lot, man, and I want to be careful. I need to be careful about what I share with you.
What's going on? Yeah, man. How can we support you?
I just need your prayers.
We spoke recently with Latimore and James about season 6 of The Chi. The topic of mental health is still taboo in some communities, specifically ours, especially among men. Why is it important for this show to tackle it in this way in season 6, Luke?
Well, I think, in art, it's supposed to speak in such a way where it's entertainment, but also something that grounds us and gives us conversation to really talk about in our community. It's such a big question on why don't we talk more? And I think it's a beautiful thing when art can kind of speak to that space and make a family, once it's off, have that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Jacob, speaking of the family, you mentioned that you created a men's circle before you guys prepped for this episode.
Yeah.
It was at your condo.
Yeah, we did.
What were your takeaways in that moment?
It was incredible. It made it much easier to go on set the next day to do this scene, because when we read the script, we were like, oh man, this is a different scene for us. We had never done anything like this throughout the show. So I think I just wanted to kind of create a moment in an environment where we can all feel safe. Yeah. And I think it really showed for us on screen that day.
Luke, how do we shake the stereotype that seeking therapy is a sign of weakness?
I think I'm grateful to Lena Waithe and Common for this show, because it's so grounded in reality. I think therapy should be just a normal thing, and just there's access. It should be on every corner. When I think about it, it's Black people who are the most traumatized people. We know trauma and we live with that, and we found a way to move through it and keep going. But what does that do to a person over time? Yeah. So I think it's imperative that we talk more and more and more about seeking help in that sense.
I'm glad you brought up Common and Lena Waithe.
Yeah.
Chicago natives.
Yeah.
How beautiful is it that you can shoot a show that's so true to Chicago with a couple of people that are involved at the level that they are to make it more authentic?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, it just makes it more real for us to be in Chicago, be with the people, be behind leaders that are really were born and raised there. They know it better than us. So, and shout out to our cast too. A lot of our castmates are born and raised in Chicago.
Lena said she wanted to humanize Chicago.
Yeah.
Because if you're not from there, you hear the stories, and even jokes. Oh, it's Chirac. It's like a war zone. Lena's like, no. There are layers to Chicago, just like there is everywhere.
Absolutely.
And has she done a good job of humanizing Chicago in your eyes?
I believe so. I think what we receive, how we know it's hidden, is the people. The people let us know. And the things that I've been told about my character.
What are the people saying?
They love the progression. They love the idea of someone coming from such a low place and trying to big themselves up and make better for their life. If you watched it from season 1 all the way to season 6, thank God, you see Emmett, you see the progression and growth in this young man.
Teenage father, living with mama, turns into a businessman, focused on one relationship.
And I've ran into so many young men who's just going through that similar lifestyle. It's just refreshing, because we're on set, we're so locked in 70% of the year that by the time we get out in the streets and really feel the people, they're really emotional about this show. And
that representation.
And it's not all just guns blazing with our show. It's real topics, real issues, real family stuff, and I think that's what they appreciate the most.
And your character
Yes.
has evolved
Yes.
from someone who was street savvy, even coming from that street cloth to transitioning into another version of himself, more elevated version.
Right.
How do you like the evolution of your character?
I love it. I just love the plot of this type of character because there's so many men like that who have made crazy decisions just based off of survival. Most of us are just trying to survive.
No doubt.
And you make crazy decisions, and if you're blessed enough to see yourself through that, and then to reflect and to make a change. See, I think people have a hard time reflecting, and I think that's what The Chi is. It's to make you entertain you, but also when it's off, makes you think about,
Electrifying.
I've been through that.
There's also a strong representation of the LGBTQ plus community,
Absolutely.
trans beauty, and making sure that we are seeing that this is a layered arc of characters that are dealing with so many different ways to see each other, recognize each other, hear each other, and feel loved. How beautiful is it for these storylines to have that representation as well?
It's incredible.
I mean, it's the real world.
It's the real world.
It is the real world. I think for a long time, television has lived in a fantasy space, and that's cool too. But I love when an artist speaks to the realness of what we actually are going through, and I think shows like that hit a little harder.
You guys are two of the most talented individuals in this industry. Love what you're doing. Before I let you go, I gotta ask, we're gonna get you in a booth anytime soon?
Oh yeah. Well, I released a EP called Closure about 5 months ago, so I still feel like I know a lot of content comes
Still
out.
got music in the street.
Yeah, I feel like I got music out there, but I'm gonna definitely drop some stuff soon.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm constantly, we're musicians first, so we're always making music.
You know, I was going to add a little bit, but I didn't have my teeth.
No, you gotta
so I'm just going to let y'all do that. But thank you so much, Jacob Latimore, Luke James. We appreciate you. Season 6 episodes of The Chi stream on Fridays on the Paramount Plus with Showtime Plan.
Nice. I like how they're thinking, Nate, on that show. I remember when it first started, how it certainly evolved. Just tackling mental health, I think, is such an important message to send to the people that watch that show.
Yeah, there's such an easier way to do a black show, right?
Yes.
Which is drama, ratchetness, guns and drugs. For them, there are notes of that, but there's also this humanity and progressiveness, and it just opens up the lens to a place like Chicago that oftentimes is looked at in a dark light. They're doing a great job on that show.
They're different in good ways, but they're keeping it real in other ways, and the authenticity of that show is why it connects.
Yep.